Hi chat. If you're new to Rise of Agon, I do have a few tips that can make your life a hell of a lot easier in this game. A few of those being, you want to have your weapons up here. And then once you bind a weapon up here, you're going to want to enable auto equip. And then you're going to want to put two different filters down, only these weapon types in this order. So it'll pull out daggers in your inventory that are of this weapon type in the order that you choose. And then the next filter, either highest damage, highest speed. The highest damage, highest speed thing matters most for your staff mainly. You want to enable auto equip, do only weapons of this type in this order, and then highest speed for your transfers. I'll be like your mana to stamina, stamina to health, health to mana, those things. And then you would set up another staff, a different staff. Let's see if it lets me do the same one. Okay, it does. For this one, you'd want to go in the cogwheel, enable auto equip, then only these weapon types in this order, and then highest damage, and then you would use that for doing damage. If you ever need to remove any of these, you can just drag it off somewhere to pop off, and that's that. You can have auto parry on for your shield too if you wanted to. Another big thing here too is I have a lot of skills in my bar. I have auto cast for the first 5 because that's where I like my melee skills. So as you can see, I have some melee skills here of all different types of weapons, and I just shove them onto this bar, and they'll only activate on auto cast when I actually have my weapon out, since I don't have any like auto draw weapon things on. So over here, you just see auto cast, you know. And then down here, so my transfers, my 7, 8, 9, since I have a Razor Naga and I have the buttons on the side, I just use all 12, and then I use the shift macros, or like shift 1, shift 2, shift 3, I mean. Then you can see here that I have force weapon switch here. And then this is weapon slot 1, which that's wrong. I had a staff here, but this would be my transfer stat one, you know, my high speed one is where I would put that, trigger weapon bar slot, and then slot 1, force weapon switch. So now if I'm doing something, like with my melee out, and I pop 7, instant cast, right off the bat. Now you don't want to do this with everything, because for my first 5, as an example, I don't want to just draw whatever right away. I want to choose, I want to pull it out, and then I want to cast it. It's already on auto cast anyway, so I just pull out my staff, I click 1. So, you know, it's going out. You really don't want to like have this many you're cycling through, but it's just for leveling purposes, so don't ignore that, you know? And then when I have my melee skills out, you'll see here, if I push 1. Alright, wait. If I push 1? Alright, wait. I actually have no skills on those ones bound. Okay, my daggers, I have the skills bound. I didn't bind those ones yet because they're different weapon types, and there's a whole bunch of different weapon types that I didn't do those ones yet. I was like leveling other ones up. Anyways, dagger 1. There it is. Goes on CD. And then I push 2, goes on CD. And then it'll automatically just swap over, you know, to the first one again. When you swap into a next one, I can just pull this out again. And then you're chilling, you know? Makes the combat a lot more fluid. A lot easier to get that going. Another thing you can do here is you don't want autocast on everything, because sometimes you do want to cycle and choose, you know? Like my Shift E, my poison. I'll definitely cycle that before I choose one. Like if I want to do the Ice Storm, if I want to do the Smoke Storm, whatever, you know? I like to choose that one first. Not just have it an instant cast. I have my blind on an instant cast. Or even instant cast skills are really good on instant cast, or on auto cast, I mean. For buffs, I just pretty much keep everything in one spot, you know. Hasten up here. I'll keep my movement skills kind of together. I might move this around though, you know. Some of my ally healing skills I'll try to keep together. You know, the ally stuff. My blinds, or, you know, curses I try to keep in a general area. You just got to figure out what binds you want to do and what works best for you. You know, feel free to experiment on that. Also, make sure if you're using shift binds like I am, shift 1 through 12, and Q, you know, shift Q, all that, go in here in your input binds. Make sure you toggle auto sprint. Figure out a button for that. You are going to want to turn this on during like melee combat sometimes if you want to get a little extra reach. But you don't want to be wasting stamina all the time. So you got to figure out a button on that. Two more things to note here is down here under the interaction tab, alternate attack is used for changing your attack from horizontal to vertical for your melee swings. This is good for not melee cleaving your teammates in PvP against friendly fire. And you're also going to want to bind parry to something. I have mine on shift. So there is a niche situation to where if I push my mount that's on shift Z, that actually will not come out. So I need to change that. Only if I'm parrying. So that's the only like niche situation to where that kind of intertwines, but you know, figure out what works best for you. One more thing to mention here is your weapon binds, wherever you choose to put those. This is where you would do your trigger weapon bar slot and then whatever you have set up. I don't have anything set up right now, but we just went through on how to set that up, so you should be set on that. The force weapon switch. You could do it the bum way, which is just drag it on here and then have your weakest one here, which is the one you always have, starter. And then every upgrade you just put in front is the bum way. But yeah, you should be good. Have a good one, chat.